What's going on, you guys? TBR here, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and happy Monday to all of you. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. In today's video, we have a couple of different topics that we are going to be talking about today. We're of course going to be talking about a couple of different events in-game that are going to be ending. Very important events that you guys are going to want to make sure that you finish up today before they go away. And we're also going to be talking about, as per tradition here on the channel, the Smasher Pass for the latest battle passes in the King of Fighters All-Star. So we have quite a bit to talk about in today's video, and I'm also going to have a little bit of a surprise for you guys as well as it relates to those battle passes. But before we go ahead and get into all of that and more, make sure if you guys enjoy daily King of Fighters All-Star content such as this, you smash that like button and subscribe. Without further ado, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another episode of Server Wars, and let's go ahead and get into the video. Cue that intro. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. In today's video, we do have a couple of different topics that we are going to be talking about. Of course, we have several different in-game events that are going to be ending today that you guys are going to want to make sure that you are aware of so you don't miss out on them. And then we're also going to be talking about the battle passes, as well as fighting our current mortal enemy in the game, which is of course going to be the Netmarble servers. So I've been trying for 45 minutes to make this video, but the servers have not cooperated whatsoever. I don't even know if you guys are going to see this video today, but hey, let's try and get it done, right? So with that being said, let's talk about the first topic today, and I will have timestamps in the description if you guys want to check those out and skip to the most important part for yourselves. But let's go ahead and talk about what events are going to be ending. So right off the bat, you guys are going to see that you have these two little guys up here. These are going to be the items that are going to be going away in 16 hours from the making of this video. You will need to adjust accordingly. So when it comes to these items here, these are going to be going away. This includes the Uru roulette crafting pieces, as well as the Awaken Support Event special roulette tickets. So these tickets and these crafting materials are going to be going away. Now, of course, that means that these different events that these correspond to are also going to be ending today. So let's go ahead and quickly recap those. Now, first up here, you're going to have this roulette. Now, this roulette here is going to be tied into that crafting mission that is in the crafting menu, which we'll talk about. But you guys are going to want to make sure that you finish this up today. Use up any of these spare roulette tickets that you might still have laying around. Make sure if you're on mobile, you're doing your ads and so on and so forth. But the reason why you would want to make sure that you do this is if you go into your crafting menu. Of course, these are going to be the three items here that you can craft using those materials. And you guys are especially going to want to make sure that you at least get your Fest Selector ticket here. But in general, make sure that you guys finish this up today, because again, it will be ending later on this evening. Other things that are going to be going away, as you guys could probably already tell, anything with the Chizuru event is going to be ending. So this is going to include the Chizuru Lucky Chance special missions, this is going to include the Lucky Chance board, and this is also going to include the crafting event. So you guys are going to want to make sure that you take care of this stuff today. Make sure you finish this up. If there's any sort of loose threads that you haven't taken care of here, you want to make sure that you do so, because all this stuff will be ending later on this evening and it will not be available tomorrow. Other things in here that are going to be ending besides the Chizuru event and that roulette are going to be the carnival, right? So this is kind of sneaky. This thing here, I would forgive you if you forgot about it, but the carnival does only have 16 hours remaining. So this is going to be a much shorter duration for this carnival than the rest of the events that came along with it. So you guys are going to want to make sure that you get this taken care of. I want to make sure that I especially mention this because you'll notice that everything else is going to have a timer listed on it, but the carnival, for whatever reason, does not. And that is why I say it's kind of sneaky, and I could forgive anybody who forgot that this thing was ending today, but this carnival is ending today. So make sure that you guys get that taken care of. Make sure that you guys use up all of the different things that you need on all these different events. Make sure you get this stuff done, because again, it will be gone later on tonight. So with all that out of the way, let's talk about the next topic of the video while the server is cooperating. And let's go ahead and talk about the battle passes. So here on the channel, we always talk about the battle passes, whether or not they're worth it, whether or not they're not worth it, whether or not the server is going to make me go back to the title screen for the 100th time this morning. I'll be right back. And we're back. So before I was so rudely interrupted, we were talking about the battle passes, if I remember correctly. But first up, you guys are probably going to notice that I have both of the battle passes. Now, this is thanks in no small part to Polo Bro over on my Discord. Big shout out to Polo. If we could get a hashtag thanks Polo in the comment section, that would be awesome. But thanks to Polo Bro, I was able to pick this up. If you guys ever want to donate like he does, Cash App link is in the description, but big shout out to him for allowing me to do this. So over the weekend, he sent me over a donation. I was able to pick these up. This is what he indicated he wanted me to use it on, so that's what I did. So I'm sure he'll be active in the comments on this video. Shout out to you, buddy. But let's talk about the passes. So obviously, if I picked these up, it wasn't just because I was prompted to do so from a donor. It's also because these things are going to be worth it. However, as mad at the servers as I am today, I would probably tell you guys not to give them any money until they get their server fixed. I don't know what's happened the past week, but my God, there will be a video of a rant about this. Trust me. So, when it comes to the passes, of course we have the $5 tier here in the middle we'll talk about first. Now, the biggest things on here, what you guys are going to notice is we of course are going to have tokens for the EX banners. We're going to have a full multi for the cards as well as the fighters on here. So in general, right off the bat for $5, that's pretty darn good when you consider the fact that, well, honestly, if you take a look at the $10 pack in the secret shop, that is going to be for the EX banner, that's going to include one multi respectively for the fighters and the cards, and that's $10. So for $5, you could go ahead and just pick up this pass, get all the other goodies that are on here, as well as the same value there essentially. So you can do that for half the price. I definitely think that that is automatically going to make it worth it, but there are other items here. Of course, there's going to be rubies. There's going to be some of these guys here, which are always useful for your dispatch missions. You're going to have quite a few of the XP capsules, and these are selection boxes. So that's another nice thing. You guys are going to see here a ton of these on here. You're going to have some AP, which is definitely going to be useful with that rush dungeon going on. And in general, for a $5 battle pass, I really do think that this is worth it. I think it's a really good battle pass. I think if you're a minnow or a dolphin or what have you, you definitely go in and you pick this up. Now, let's talk about the $50 pass, right? The $50 pass this time around, in my opinion, is definitely worth it. So if we take a look here right off the bat, let's talk about the rubies. We got 3,000 right here, and then you're going to notice that by the end of this thing, you are going to have a ton of rubies on here, right? So you're going to have 500 here, you're going to have 300 there, so that's 800, another 200, so that's 1,000, 4,000 rubies total here, which is really cool. In general, you'll love to see it. Now, other things that are going to be on here, obviously, are going to be these guys here. These are going to be your Awakened Tier XP capsules. These are selection boxes, and you're going to get 150 of them, and you can pick between the 6 and the 7 capsules, which are very tough to come by for a lot of people. So that right there is really cool. You're going to get 2 of these selectors. This is for unified banner cards, which largely is just going to be fodder. And then speaking of fodder, we do have several fodder cards on here, so that's another thing you're going to notice. Other things that are going to be on here, of course, are going to be the tokens. Now, these are going to be the bread and butter of this pass. You are going to get a whopping 3 for the fighters and 3 for the cards. We'll be talking more about that momentarily. But in general, there's a lot of value on here. I'm not going to go through each and every single item in here, but when you take a look at these guys here, you'll have these dispatch speed up tickets by 1 hour. You're getting 10 of those there. And in general, this is just full of value. But of course, the final item on here that you get is going to be the BS and SS Fighter Memory Selector. This guy here allows you to select from any of the characters that you see here. So in general, this thing is going to be pretty darn up to date. As you can tell, we are going to have Terry and Mary in there as well. So in general, I think that this pass, you know, $50 is always $50, right? It's always a lot of money. It's always fairly expensive. But in general, I think that for the value proposition of what is in this pass, I think that this is definitely one that you guys want to pick up if you have the ability to do so. It's going to be up to you at the end of the day if you really want to, but I really do think that the value proposition is there, especially if you're somebody that's interested in anything on these banners right now. Being the fact that you're going to get 3 multis for the fighters and 3 for the cards is really, really strong. And yeah, in general, I really like this pass this time around. I like the fact that they've started to theme not just the $50 pass, but the $5 pass, thanks to these tokens here after whatever current banner is running. You guys have heard me complain about them not doing that in the past numerous times, and overall, it does seem as if they've taken the hint. So that's pretty much where I feel the battle passes are this time around. I think if you can afford the $50 one, I think it's worth it if you have any sort of interest in this new banner. And then besides that, I think in general, the $5 pass is worth it for anybody. But at the end of the day, it's up to you how you spend your money, especially considering, again, the servers. If you want to give them money right now, be my guest. So that is going to be what is ending. That is going to be the smash or pass on the battle passes. To summarize, I think you smash the battle passes if possible, but with that being said, we've already done so. We've already smashed those passes, right? So now we need to talk about these tokens. So yes, we are going to be doing a small summon session here, so I am going to be using up these tokens. Now, for those of you who saw my very, very depressing summoning session on the card banner the last time we did this, you guys would know I'm only 3 multis away from the pity. Basically, what this means is we are going to be able to finish this pity up. What I would need here, as far as what is here that I don't have, is I definitely would like to have the finisher for Kyo. This new Climax finisher would be great. I would like to have the option card, but it's kind of a low-level priority. I already had like 10 of these and foddered those off, so thanks, Netmarble. And then when it comes to the set, we do have 1 set, but I would definitely not be upset by getting another one. And if I were able to pick up another piece on the way to the pity, then that would give me a lot to think about with that pity ticket, right? So with that being said, on the fighters, right now, you guys, if I had to be honest with you, I'm not overly concerned about Kyo, but I am concerned about one thing as it pertains to him. One thing that would make me interested in going in on this fighter is the fact that that stone for his circle stone is incredible for my Akuma. So for those of you who don't know what that does, I can show you real quick, and God, I hate that I'm paranoid about the server crashing doing anything right now. So the circle stone for the EX fighters is going to increase your EX fighters burn damage by, I believe it's 20% at max. Amazing, amazing stone for Akuma. In general, I really want it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've pretty much, and you guys know how I am with characters that I love, like Akuma, King, etc. If anything ever comes out to make them even the slightest bit better, you know how I am with that stuff. So in general, I'm very interested in that, but I'm not going to be spending a bunch of rubies to do so. Right now, I am in turtle mode until Shune comes out, at which point I will definitely be going all in for Shune, but right now I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen. So in general, you guys, we're not going to be using rubies, but we do have tokens, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the cards. Just get it out of our system. So as you guys are well aware by now, we have one thing that we need to do before we get to that, and that is going to be praise Rico, believe in the heart of the cards, and let's go ahead and summon. On the EX banners, I'm not excited. I'm never excited when it comes to these things, right? But hey, we'll see what happens. You never know. We got red. And again, big thank you to Polo for making sure that I was able to get these this time around, because I really was very interested in them and I really did want them, but I was not going to spend the money on it. But that's why I have such amazing viewers like you guys that take care of me. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Like, genuinely, Polo, I appreciate it. So what do we got here? Anything gonna change? Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. All right, we got one more, boys. One more. And if I do, I don't know what I'm probably just gonna use the pity ticket, honestly, on the Kyo finisher, but I'll probably just hold on to it for a while. I don't really have anything pressing I need to use it for. And there you go. Now they're gonna make me think about it. I'm not gonna complain because honestly, you guys, I want a second set. But that gives me so much to think about. Now, of course, we just talked about these passes, and you guys may remember that we are going to have a multi coming to us. We take a look here. So obviously we have some of the silver tokens, but we only have 5, right? So we have to wait a little while before we get the other 5 from the battle pass. So we'll have a full multi. I'm going to wait on that. So we will be coming back to this, but really, really cool that we picked up that piece there. I believe, which one was it? It's probably going to already be. We'll just take a look at the pity ticket real quick. I believe it was part 2. I think it was the third, or the second part rather. Let's take a look. Yeah, so we need any one of these other 2 for a second set. I would much prefer to have the second set, honestly, you guys, to anything else in here, so gives us a lot to think about. I'm gonna hold on to that for a while. We're not gonna use it right now. That would be very silly. But with that being said, you guys, that was the cards. Not too shabby. Now we've got to pull for the fighters. So basically, I would like to have a Kyo. If I got a Kyo, that would give me a lot to think about again, because at that point I would have to definitely wonder about that stone for the circle stone for the A1. But I'm not expecting that sort of luck. You know, really, when it comes to the fighter banner here, I'm kind of nonplussed on the whole thing. You know, if we get an Iori, that's not going to do much of anything. Our Iori is at A3, and in general, 1 memory isn't going to change anything. So yeah, guys, I mean, we're just going to go for it, see what we end up with. So we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting much, but it is what it is. In fact, all I'm really expecting is the server to crash. So, you know what they say. There's 3 constants in life: death, taxes, and Netmarble servers. All right. About right. Trash. It's funny seeing all these now, because nowadays, like, it used to be I would mentally be keeping a checklist in the back of my head of like what memories I picked up for some of these other characters, like these silver and bronze characters, because I wanted to go ahead and just max them all out. And I've already done that now. So now it doesn't even matter. Cool. Neat. All right, guys, we got one more. One more. See what happens. I'm not expecting anything. Dread. It's not a Kyo. And nothing. So yeah, that's about right. So basically, I think that is going to do it. That really honestly wasn't too bad. I mean, the fact that we now have the consideration to be made there for a second set for that EX set, in my opinion, was honestly what I was most interested in. I was hoping that maybe that would happen. So that really did help a lot, you guys. So again, big shout out to Polo for helping me out and getting these for me. But basically, we'll see what happens, right? We're going to see what happens with this. I'm going to wait a little while. Again, we do have another multi coming from the battle passes for both of those banners. So we will have a fighter multi as well as a multi for the cards at some point in the next week. So that'll be something to look forward to. But in general, you guys, that is going to do it for today's video. So I hope you all found it enjoyable. I know that right now struggling with the servers is kind of a pain, but it is what it is. Try being me trying to make a video right now with this crap. But anyway, you guys, if you enjoyed it and found it informative, smash that like button and subscribe. Make sure that you get these events done today. Do not forget to get this stuff done, because it will be going away. With all that out of the way, you guys, you all take care. Enjoy the rest of your days. I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.
Continue.